Hey everyone, welcome to the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. I'm Stephanie, a book-loving, notebook-hoarding reader and writer on a mission to change lives one book and one notebook at a time. On this podcast, we explore the power of books and notebooks as tools for wellness. Reading and writing can help us feel better and make life better too, and I'll show you how I do it. You'll find episodes exploring the research behind reading and writing for wellness, practical strategies to embrace your own restorative reading and writing, and you'll meet authors and special guests who help us take inspired actions in our own daily practices too. So grab a notebook and your TBR list and let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness. I'm Stephanie Affinito, and it is time. It is time. Your inbox is flooding. Your snail mailbox is becoming packed. Your social media fields are brimming with all things holiday. You are getting the best book lists of 2025. You're getting the most obsessed over holiday gift guides from all of your favorite bloggers. And you're getting every sale, every discount, every coupon that Black Friday and the weeks leading up to Black Friday can provide. Now, I admit I tend to complain about how overwhelmed I get at this time of the year in relation to all of the holiday goodies that seem to be flooding all of those spaces. Black Friday is no longer Black Friday. It's almost like a Black November. Every time I see one of those holiday gift guides or the best of lists come through, I'm equally excited and dreadful because I know I'm just going to get overwhelmed by all of the things that I want, by all of the things that I want to gift, and maybe even all the things that I should be sharing with you. But at the core, I do love a good gift guide, especially when the gift guide is targeted to exactly what I need and want. Now, I love gift guides for that reason, of course, but I realized, especially this year, as I've really been thinking about what I like about these guides and what I don't as I gear up to share some of my favorites with you, I realize that I love these guides even more because it gives me a snippet of life into the person who's recommending it. So, yes, I know that all of the big box stores can recommend gift guides, but the ones I love, those are the ones that come from my favorite writers. Those are the ones that come from my favorite podcasters or lately, my Substackers. Because not only does it give me ideas for me to buy for myself and those I love, but it just lets me into the world a bit more to the person who's recommending it. And that is what has been really fun for me to explore this year as I go more into those small business gift guides rather than the big box stores that always come my way. So in this episode, it is my turn. It is time for me to share the gifts for restorative reading and restorative writing that I think you've been missing, that I think you should give to yourself, that I think you should give to others, and that I think aren't as popular on these holiday gift guides. So let's begin with a really brief overview of how I'm going to structure this episode. I want to have this gift guide be filled, but not too filled, with gifts that will support a growing restorative reading and writing practice, a reading and writing practice that is going to help you feel good, to feel healthier, to be more creative, to be more happier in your life. Whatever it is, that's what restorative reading and writing can give to you. Now, there are a couple of elements to restorative reading that I wanted to organize this year's gift guide around. First, a restorative reading and writing practice demands that you give it the time it deserves. Not just those 5-minute clips of reading and writing when you can, but a more indulgent and longer time for reading and writing. And if you get up to 30 minutes, that is the frosting on the cake, right? That's where our nervous system really sinks in and feels like you're doing 30 minutes of meditative yoga. So I want part of the gift guide to explore how to gift others the gift of time and how to layer some sensory additions to that time so that we can signal to our nervous system it really is safe to slow down. It really is safe to, in quotes, just read and write. And I don't have to be productive in any other way other than to nourish my body in this moment with those two things. Now, another component of restorative reading and writing is that we are intentionally choosing books and intentionally in choosing notebook prompts that are going to get us where we want to go, that are going to help us feel better in the direction we want to feel better in. It's not just mindlessly picking up the latest book club selection or the one that looked great at your local independent bookstore, although there is certainly benefit in doing that. A restorative reading and writing practice is more intentional, or it looks for more intention in the books and notebook prompts that come our way. That brings me to the third category that I want to talk about today, which is in restorative reading and writing, you are a very active participant. You are reading and writing with an open mind and an open heart so that you can uncover messages, uncover nudges, see the patterns that are showing up on the page and in your thinking so that you can do something about it. So that's how this gift guide is organized. I'm going to have a couple of things that support time and sensory experiences around reading and writing, a couple of things that help us get more intentional about our book selection and our notebook selection, and some ways that you can get really active in your reading and writing so that it can make a difference in your actual life. Now, I promise I am not going to put too many recommendations here. I know how overwhelmed I get when I see a long list that I have to scroll through. But if you want more, I will link in the show notes to my past year's gift guides. I've got a couple of them. I will link to them in the show notes if you haven't listened to those and you'd like just a few more ideas. So let's get started with a couple of holiday gifts that could support dedicating time to our reading and writing lives and elevating that time with some sensory experiences, which research shows us allows our nervous system to relax into that rest and digest stage faster. First up, I want to recommend something that I tried last year that I was so happy you loved and downloaded many, 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 many times. Is a certificate, or maybe you could look at it as an old-fashioned coupon that you used to make when you were a kid. It's a coupon for a shared reading and writing experience together with someone you love. It's a very simple looking coupon on Canva that when you click the template link that I have provided, you can either print it as is and hand write in the to and from, or you could actually edit the template and type in who it's to and who it's from, and even change some of the design elements to personalize it if you'd like. I love that this is a simple, handmade gift of time that shows someone you care. Maybe you decide to pick a house and you show up and you read and write for an extended period of time together, your own little personal retreat. Maybe you're not close geographically, so you decide to hop on Zoom and just keep your Zoom screens open with a really wonderful ASMR room in the background. Maybe you even gift your favorite playlist to someone to have playing in the background of their own reading and writing so that they can enjoy that time even more. None of those things cost anything to purchase, although it may cost you some time in taking time off of work or buying the books and the notebook that you're going to read and write with. But this is a gift of time and experience that I bet will be very, very treasured. Now, the second thing I want to recommend in this time and sensory area is a couple of aromatherapy blends. Now, I love a good candle. I love a good room spray. I love a good diffuser. And if you've been sticking around with me for a while, you know that I have gone down the doTERRA rabbit hole and I now sell essential oils. I love their blends. Right now, the one that perks up my day is this Citrus Bliss blend. It just keeps me energized and happy throughout the day. But recently, the new holiday blend came out, and listeners, this holiday blend is like Christmas in a jar. Like literally, it has such a beautiful yet not overpowering and artificial smell, of course, because it is naturally made by the smells of Christmas. Now, you might be thinking, why would I give someone a holiday blend at the holiday? Because the reading that they're going to do from that day forward is not holiday. But I promise you, this holiday blend is one that I will use all year round because it just smells like comfort. And when you are sinking in for some indulgent reading and writing practices, having that smell of comfort, that uplifting nourishment that you get just from that smell that signals all of those beautiful chemicals in your brain, well, it just helps you sink in even more. And I, for one, could have Christmas all year round. Now, the third thing I want to recommend, I've got three things for you in this category, is a crocheted cup cozy. Now, normally when you think of cozies, you think of a cold aluminum can and you put the cozy over it so that your hand doesn't get freezing and the cold stays in the can. At least that's typically what I think of when I think of a drink cozy. But these drink cozies are not like that. These are crocheted cozies that go around a hot mug. So it could be your cup of tea, it could be your mug of coffee. It's a crocheted little circle-ish thing, or I guess cylinder thing, that you either slip over the bottom of your cup, or most of them are these strips with either a snap or a button on them, and you wrap it around your mug, and it does two things. Number one, it just feels more comfortable on your hands when you are holding it. It feels cozy. And number two, I'd like to think that it kind of keeps a little bit of the heat in. I'm the kind of person whose coffee has to be piping hot. If a minute goes by, I'm probably the one popping it back into the microwave. And so I feel like this cozy could not only elevate my reading and writing experience, but keep my coffee really warm so that I can read and write longer without having to get up. Okay, so those are my three recommendations for time and sensory items. Now, I bet you have more in your mind. I could inundate you with more blends, with candles, with noise diffusers, and all sorts of things. But I think for me this year, the things that have mattered most for me are time, some sort of scent to help me sink in, and some sort of tactical thing that I can touch to help me feel warm and cozy. Let's move on to the second category, which is all about intention. So, restorative reading is choosing books to help you feel good in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. And restorative writing is helping you choose writing prompts that help you feel good in those same places. So, I've got a couple of recommendations here. I think I've got four, so one more than the previous category. The first thing I want to recommend is related to writing. And I want to recommend that everybody this year picks up an embroidered journal. I have become obsessed with journals that have embroidered covers. Maybe they are just embroidered in this beautiful abstract shape. The ones I love are embroidered in flowers and particular scenes. I just love the look. I love the feel, and I love thinking about the time and intention that went into designing and creating that notebook so that I could slow down and open it up and enjoy it. So there's two companies that I want to share with you, and I am not affiliated with these companies. I just love them. Maybe I should become affiliated with these companies, but one of them is called Rifle Paper Company. Now, this company has a lot, so many office supplies, but what I love are their embroidered journals. They are thick, well, thick-ish, hard-covered notebooks. They come in a variety of colors and a variety of designs. So one of my favorites is a blue hardcover notebook that has all sorts of different beautiful flowers embroidered on it. But another one of my favorites is one that just has more of a neutral background and it has all sorts of different dogs embroidered on it. There are 25 different small dogs embroidered onto the cover of this book, and I love it. Other notebooks have different colors, and then there might be quotes on the front. So these journals, these notebooks are just beautiful. And they invite me to slow down and hopefully invite me to have a more restorative writing practice. Now, the other place I wanted to tell you about, and I hope I'm saying it right, is Denik, DENIK.com. Now, I first found this company because I found a soft covered embroidered journal in one of my favorite local independent bookstores, and I fell in love with it. I went online to see what other kinds of notebooks they had, and I found out that you can customize your own notebook with this company. You choose your notebook type, whether it's hardcover, softcover, or spiral bound. Then you choose your paper type. Is it lined? Is it dotted? Is it blank? What is the thickness and the weight and the color? And then you can create the design on the cover. Do you want it flat? Do you want it matte? Do you want it shiny? Do you want it embroidered? What do you want it? You can do it with this company. So I want to make sure that I shared this with you because I thought, how wonderful, yes, to choose a personalized notebook for ourselves. But wouldn't it be nice to know that someone took the time to personalize a notebook for you based on what they knew about you so that you could start to enjoy a writing practice? I think that would be the most special gift, and that's why I am recommending it as my first one in this category. Now, up next for reading, I have to recommend the Bibliophile Oracle deck. You thought I was going to recommend a set of books, didn't you? I'm not. I am recommending an Oracle deck for book lovers. It's a 52 card deck and guidebook that if you are a book lover, if you are someone who enjoys tarot cards or oracle cards, or just the idea that drawing a card could bring you some intention you didn't know you needed, I think you need to get the Bibliophile Oracle deck for yourself and for a friend. So, Amy, a listener of the podcast tonight, we are our friends, virtual friends, but eventually, hopefully, in real life. Amy picks a card almost every week for us from this deck, and I have loved it. You know, she picks the author card, and that author card reminds us that we are the author of our own life. So, what are we going to do about it? Or maybe we pull the reading nook card and we think about the sacred spaces in our lives and what we need to fill them with. These cards are beautiful and these cards are just so intentional and reflective. And so, how fun to give someone this deck so that they can pick a card for themselves and decide what their reading and writing life and their actual life, of course, might need. Or maybe you decide to pick cards for each other and make that community connection as well, like Amy does for me. So I'm going to recommend the Bibliophile Oracle deck. It's from Penguin Random House. And of course, I will put the link into the show notes as a way to help you intentionally choose books and intentionally choose journal prompts. Now, related to that, I can't let this section go by without recommending that you buy yourself or you gift someone with a book apothecary. You know, I love creating book apothecaries for someone, whether you fill out a Google form and tell me what you're looking for that way, or we hop on a live Zoom call and you tell me what you're looking for and what you need out of your reading life. That way, I then go back and work my magic and create a book apothecary. That is a collection of anywhere between 5 and 10 books and a collection of journal prompts that I think will pair nicely with them. I mean, what better gift than someone to help you figure out what to read next and how you can bring your vision for 2026, which is coming soon, to life through books and notebooks. So, of course, I'll put links in the show notes to those as well. Now, I do have one more here, and this one is a book, but I'm not going to give you a specific title. I'm going to recommend that a perfect holiday gift for anyone is a book that someone can add to their pause pile. Now, if you don't know what a pause pile is, I will link back to the previous episode that talks all about it. But it essentially is a pile of books that you can read when you only have a couple of moments, but you need to pause in your busy day. Research shows just 6 minutes of reading can help us calm our nervous systems down. And so, a pause pile is a collection of books designed to pick up when you have those small pockets of time. They can be read in any order, they can be read in any way as a way to just pick up a book, open up, get some inspiration, and move on. So I would encourage you to think of a book that is in your current pause pile that you could gift someone else. Maybe it's a book you wish was in your pause pile and you could gift that to someone. I lied and said I wasn't going to recommend a book, but the current book that I have gifted myself with in my own pause pile is titled Hold Nothing by Elena Brower. It's beautiful, it's lyrical, and it is the perfect book to pick up when you have a minute or 10 to just soothe your system. So that is the only book that I will recommend in this podcast today. Now, the third category is a collection of gifts that help you read with an active stance, with an open mind and an open heart, so that you can get all of those nudges and hear all of those whispers and take all of those ideas that are coming to you off the page and actually do something about it. So, the first one I want to recommend is a fun one. And if you are already part of my Substack newsletter, then you might remember that I recommended this not too long ago. It's from Jet Pens, that Japanese stationery store, and they are collections of pop-up sticky notes. Not just sticky notes, pop-up sticky notes. So these small sticky notes, often beautiful sticky notes, are in this little container, so to speak, like wrapped up in a piece of harder cardboard or harder cardstock. And when you open it up, it pops up and stands up. And then your sticky notes are on that stand or in that little thing that is popped up. Some of them are flowers that popped up, animals holding your sticky notes, all sorts of really cool, wonderful things. I love it for two reasons. One, it's holding sticky notes. Who wouldn't love anything that's holding sticky notes? But two, the act of unwrapping it and then having it pop up and stand visible at attention is a really good reminder that we want to be reading and keeping our eyes and ears open for these messages. So it's a way to track our thinking and stick one in the page when something strikes our fancy, or write something down that we don't want to forget while we're reading and writing. But it's also this really cool signal to your nervous system that it's time. It's time to start listening for nudges and it's time to start moving forward. Now, related to that, I would love to recommend that you buy someone or yourself a nudge notebook. Again, I will link to the nudge notebook episode in the show notes, but this is basically a little notebook or big one, I guess, if that's what you want, but mine is little, that I keep next to me while I read. I put the title and the author at the top, and setting that intention on my notebook tells my system that we're going to get some really good advice and inspiration in this book, and it's my job to look for it. So these little nudge notebooks just hold evidence of your active reading, whether it's quotes that you loved, it's those nudges that you've gotten, it's a recipe that was in the book that you want to try. Those nudge notebooks help you transfer all the goodness from your reading life to your actual life. And so purchasing a nudge notebook that you think is the perfect kind of nudge notebook for someone could be a really wonderful gift. Now, so could, if you want to go big, so could a restorative pencil pouch. Now, I, for the first time, offered a restorative pencil pouch. I called it the Fall Pause Pouch, and I made 20 of them, and I sold out of 20 of them, thanks to all of you. This, oh, this was just such a fun experience. The most wonderful creator on Etsy created these crocheted pencil pouches in these fall colors. It was beautiful and it feels so good to the touch. And I stuffed the pencil pouch with all sorts of things, with miniature colored pencils, with handmade Etsy notebooks, with candles, with a beautiful, tasty tea bag, with stickers, with annotation flags, with sticky notes, with bookmarks. I just stuffed it full and sent it off to all of you all over the United States. It would be such fun for you to make a restorative pouch for yourself, for you to make one to gift, or, of course, get on the waiting list and gift someone a future pencil pouch from me. The next round of pencil pouches will be ready to go in January for our winter pouch, and you could gift one for yourself and you could grab one for a friend as well. So they'd open up perhaps the coupon and then know that a little bit of surprise snail mail is coming their way. Now, the last thing that I would recommend isn't something specific that I have for you, but one of my favorite things in relation to my restorative reading and writing life are annotation flags. I stuffed those inside the pencil pouch as well. You know, those longer strips of annotation flags in all sorts of colors so that you could either color code your thinking or just have a bit of rainbow fun in your books. So any flags will do. I found those paired with any of the gifts that I have talked about today make a really nice addition. Well, there you go. A handful of hopefully fairly unique ideas for your restorative reading and writing practices that you could gift to yourself or you could gift to someone you love. I would love to know which one of these things you will indulge in for yourself. You can find me on social media at AffinitoLit. You can head to the comment section of this post on alitlife.com. You can find me at Substack as well. But I'd love to know which one you want for yourself, which one you might gift to a friend, and of course, if you have other gift ideas that you think I would love, please tell me because that just might be the thing that I gift myself for the holiday season this year. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it got your holiday spirit pumping. I hope it got your brain thinking of some different, unique gifts that can help us really grow our restorative reading and writing so that our actual lives can feel better too. I can't wait to hear what you recommend for me, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. You'll find links to all of the books, resources, and ideas mentioned in the show notes and at alitlife.com. And if you want more, you might like to join my Get Literate Substack community. There, you'll find additional inspiration for your reading and writing life, like bonus podcast episodes, book calendars, monthly book clubs, notebooking inspiration, live events, giveaways, and much more. It's only $5 a month, and you get instant access to all of the previous content, too. You can learn more at getliterate.co. But there's one more thing. If you love what you listened to today, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast, or take a screenshot of the episode and text it to a friend. This helps the podcast grow and builds our bookish and notebookish community, too. Thanks for listening, everyone.